Hello guys, in this tutorial I will teach you how we can develop a CRUD functionality in Laravel 9 and Vue JS 3. Okay, so if you are using Windows environment, then you will type this command, okay, to create a new Laravel project. Or I recommend that you first install the Laravel installer and then you can create a new project by typing this command. Okay, here example app is the name of the application which will be created. Okay, so you can change it according to uh, your desire. Okay, for example you can say it Vue.js 3 CRUD. Okay, that's it. But I am using Docker environment on Windows 11, so I will use uh, these steps to create a new project. Okay, so if you are using Docker environment, then you have to type this command to create a new project. Okay, let's create a new project. I will just change the name of the app. Just say it Vue.js Vue.js 3 20 Vue.js CRUD 2023. Okay, this command will create a new Laravel project for us, as you can see. So if you are using Docker environment, then you can follow me along. And if you are using Windows environment, you are using WAMP server locally installed, then there will be only difference of first few steps. You can follow this tutorial along. There is no need to worry. I will type my WSL2 Linux directory password. Okay, a new Laravel project has been created in our directory. I will show you here. This is my directory of projects. So here is our new project which is created by the command. Okay, Vue.js. Okay, anyway, okay, let's open this project in PHP Storm. Open. Okay, and here is my Ubuntu directory, and then home and code directory, and then here is the project which we just created. Okay, we are fine. Okay, so after this step, if you are not using Docker environment, then you just need to go to the .env file and create a new database in PHP myadmin. Okay, but and then you can set the database name and your username and password here. Okay, and then you can will run the php artisan migrate command to migrate your tables. But as I will be using Laravel uh, Sail, which is a tool for which is a command line tool for interacting with the Laravel default Docker environment, I don't need to make any change in .vmv. Okay, so if you're using Docker, you can follow me along. So first of all, let's go into the Docker. Okay, so this is how we will, after creating the project, we will type this command dot forward slash vendor. Okay, bin slash up and minus d. Okay, No, okay, first of all, we need to go into the project directory cd, and it was Vue JS CRUD 2023, right? Okay, now we will type this command. You can also see this command here, right? Yeah, here this command is mentioned, but I already know. Minus or dash D. Okay, this will create a new Docker image for our new project. Okay, now I will show you. This is the Docker desktop environment. Okay, so this is the new Docker container. Okay, for our application. Okay, so if you are using, Docker is very useful. If you are using Docker environment, then you don't, Docker doesn't have to interact with the operating system of your PC. Okay, Docker itself is a small operating system, or whatever you can say. Okay, now we need to go into the Docker, and we will do so dot vendor bin sale root shell. uh, I think maybe, yeah. So here is the command to go inside the Docker environment created by Laravel sale. Vendor, you don't need to put the dot in the front. Vendor forward slash bin forward slash sale root shell. It will take you to the uh, root directory of your project in the Docker. Here we are. Okay. So now if you type ls, you can see now we are in the root directory of our project, as you can see. Okay. Here now, if I run php artisan command, it will run without any problem. Oh, sorry, php artisan migrate. So our database migrations have been done exactly. Okay, so I'm using MySQL Workbench for databases. So if I go to the server, okay, so here a new database has been created. Okay, I hope that you can see it. I am trying to zoom it, but here, okay, a new database has been created, and here are the tables, the default Laravel tables. Okay, okay, the next step is, okay, okay, as I am using Laravel sale, I also need to set the permissions. Okay, so if you are using Windows, you don't need to do this step. I will just exit it from here. Okay, I will make some permissions so we can make changes in our project. This is only if you are using Laravel sale for your Docker environment. Okay, and Vue JS CRUD 2023. Okay, in this way we give access to our Windows environment to make changes uh, into the Linux directories. Okay. Okay, now we will go to the root directory again. Just Vue JS CRUD 2023. Okay, and then okay, okay. Now we need to we will be creating an application in which we will be able to create a task, okay, update a task, delete a task, and yeah, and view a particular task. That's it. So let's create a new migration, PHP artisan, okay, make model task -m dash m for migration, and RC for creating a resource controller. Okay, so this command will create a task model and a table for tasks and a resource controller to control the incoming HTTP requests. Okay, that's it. Okay, fine. As you can see, a new task model has been created and a database migration has been created. A new controller called task controller has also been created. Okay, guys, the next step is to make change in the migration file. Okay, and task table. Okay, right. So to save time, I will just copy it. Okay, we need basically yeah, 4 columns in that, uh, 4 more columns in the task table. Okay, first we have the ID, which is a primary key, and then we need a string. Column name is title, and then a text data type with a column called description or DESE, and then we need a type column with data type enum. Okay, it has three default types. Okay, so basically these are the task type: bug, task, or epic. Okay, and then we need another uh, column called due date, and its data type is date. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and another thing is, maybe we also need mask assignment. So we will, I hope that you are already familiar with the mask assignment concept. Okay, so instead of using dollar fill label and describing every column, so if we want that every column should be mass assignable in the table, what we can do is, and then we can, now we have defined protected dollar guarded is equal to an empty array. Okay, so it makes all the columns of the tasks table mass assignable. That's it. We don't have to mention each table. So if we write here protected dollar fill label, then we have to define here which column we need to make mass assignable. Okay, that's it. Okay, and okay, now let's create a, okay, first of all, I think we will need to install Vue JS in over this newly built Laravel Scratch project. Okay, let's do that. Okay, guys, there are many ways to install Vue JS 3 on Laravel 9. So if you don't need the Laravel default authentication systems like login controller and registration systems, as we don't need authentication in this project, uh, we will be using the this package. But if you need authentication system in your newly created Laravel 9 project, then I recommend that you install the, the Laravel starter kit that will install the Vue and Livewire and things like that on your new project with the default authentication features in your newly built Laravel project. But for this project, we don't need authentication features. So this is the best way to install Vue JS 3 or Bootstrap uh, in this project. Okay. So first of all, type composer require Laravel / UI. Okay. Okay. And now we need to run PHP artisan UI and Vue. This will install Vue. Okay, Vue scaffolding installed successfully. We also need Bootstrap. Okay, so PHP artisan UI and Bootstrap. Great. Okay, Bootstrap scaffolding has also been installed. Okay, the next step is we need to run npm install. Okay, okay, just check once if our project is running fine or not. Okay, keep in mind I am using Laravel Sail Docker environment for development. Okay, so I just have to type localhost. Okay, our project is running. Okay, that's it. Okay, the next step is we need to define a master layout for our project. Okay, let's go to uh, let's define, create a new folder. Okay, new and file, let's say is no, create a new directory. Okay, layouts. Okay, in the layouts directory we will define a master layout, master dot blade dot php, right? Okay, okay, to save time I will just copy it from my another project. Okay, here is the master file. Okay, copy it and okay, so let me mention it, there is nothing complex here. Okay, these are the HTML tags. Okay, then there is a header tag. Okay, right, and let's make it static. In the title we define Laravel CRUD operation with Vue JS 3 and Laravel 9. Okay, okay, okay. As we will be using Vite to compile our CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so you must define this. Okay, you can, if you don't know about Vite, it's a very quick way to compile our CSS and GSS. Okay, you can see the Vite documentation in on the Laravel website. Okay, so here you need to define uh, at Vite, and then resources css app.css, resources and js app.jss. Okay, so basically in the resources file, okay, here is our app.css, here is our app.jss. Okay, so when we will run the npm run dev, it will compile the cs and javascript from these files. Okay, and then at yield styles. Okay, so when we will be creating a child views, then we can type, you know, send the styles from that page by saying add section. Okay, and then there is a body tag, and then a container, and the container IP, we have assigned ID of app to the div container, and then yield with the content. So in the child view, we will define the contents of this master layout by saying add section content. Okay, that's it. And the next, okay guys, the next, we need to create another view. Okay, so in the resources folder we will create a new view. Okay, and another blade view. Okay, we will call it tasks dot blade dot php. Okay, okay, and what we will do it, as you know that we have defined a master layout. Okay, and now this master layout, the purpose of this is we will include this master layout anywhere. Okay, so don't have to write a html tags, html header and body tags again and again in the child views. Okay, so we'll just say extends. Okay, and we have defined the master layout in the layouts directory, layouts. Okay, dot master. Okay, and then now you will understand why I defined at yield content here. So now to put content here, I just need to mention here at section content, and control alt at end section, right? Now if we type hello world. Okay, and then go to web.php, and then right now it's returning the, okay, welcome page. We just make a small change. Instead of welcome here, we can return the tasks, tasks, the view which we just created. Okay, so now if we refresh it. Okay, view tasks not found. Let's see what's wrong here. Oh, we created the tasks in the wrong directory in fact. So let's cut it, and we have to define the tasks view in the view directory. Yeah, that's it. And let's refresh it. View layouts dot master not found. Layouts dot master. Okay, layouts dot master. Oh, I think we can use it like this maybe. Okay. Let's see what's wrong here. Okay, guys. Actually, I was in hurry, and that's why I placed the layouts directory in the resources. Okay. Okay. We need to place a resources directory into the views directory because all the blade views must be in the views directory. So let's paste it in here, right? Now if we refresh it, okay, so now our this is not a viewer, so it says Vite manifest not found because we are using Vite to bundle our assets for a production environment. As you know that you can see more about the Vite. Okay. When you are using Vite, I already told you we need to include our CSS and a JS like this at Vite. Okay. To compile our CSS and JS file into production environment. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to run npm install and npm run dev. Okay. So now we can see our uh, view hello world, right? Which we had defined in tasks.blade dot php, right? If we type something else here, okay, and refresh it, yeah, overview is loading. Okay, so basically tasks is a child view, and it is extending the master layout which we defined here. Okay, right, we are fine. Let's so as you know that we used the composer require laravel / UI package to install Vue JS. There are many ways to install Vue JS and Bootstrap in Laravel project. Okay, so when we use this package, it creates a sample component, sample Vue component as so that we can start with ease. So in the JS directory, there is a components directory, and here we can see the example component. So in order to check that our Vue JS has been properly installed in our project, what we can do is in the task.blade.php, let me show you the app.js. Okay. So in the app.js, we have to use the register the over Vue component like this. We have to import it. Okay. And then we have to uh, define it like this. Let me zoom it out. Okay. So app.js is already defined. This is by the package here. Okay, we just need to use example component. You can see no, that's not good. Okay, so now if we refresh, we should see this component which says that I am an example component, right? Now let if we refresh, nothing is appearing. Okay, let's see what's the error in the console. Okay, so over CSS, Vite is unable to overload over CSS and JS. Okay, let's fix that, no problem. Okay, so basically when you are using Laravel say Docker environment, then you need to make a small change in vite.config.js. So let's go to vite.config.js, and here you need to mention server. Okay, and curly braces. Okay, to save the time, let's just copy it. Okay, okay, Vite is unable to load over CS and JS. Just you have to, okay, go into vite.config.js and you have to write server colon curly braces, and you must also write this https false because you are on the local server. Okay, you must use this. If you will not include this line, then Vite will be unable to load your CS and JS on your local host because your local host doesn't has the HTTPS. Okay, and then you define to HMR and colon and curly braces and host, local host. In case I am my app URL is localhost. In case you are using WAMP or XAMPP, then you will define here your like maybe example uh, app and forward slash public. Basically here you will find define the uh, root URL of your application. Okay, mine was is localhost. Okay, now you see that the CSS and JS, there is no JS for it. It says white manifest not found because we need to run uh, first we run npm let's clear the cache. Now run npm install again, maybe npm run dev. Okay, so now if we refresh it, okay, here comes another error. Basically, if you will use, the Laravel starter package, I think you will not face this error because we are using Composer require Laravel for Laravel require Laravel forward slash UI package to install Vue JS and JavaScript. We have to make another adjustment into our vite.config.js. Okay, so to save time, I will just copy it from my another project. Okay, so what you have to do is, first of all, you have to include this. Okay, so at the end after this, where the plugin um, array closes, you have to type this here, right? Resolve forward slash curly braces and then alias forward slash curly braces, and you have to mention this also. Okay, I'm taking time, so maybe it would be easy for you to follow along the tutorial. White vue forward slash dist vue.esm bundle.js. Okay, and another thing is we will also need to add this part of the code here. Okay, so this part I added after into the plugins array. Okay, So after this, okay, you will add this part. Once again, I am making these edits in vite.config.js, which is the uh, configuration file for Laravel. Another thing we need to do is, see, add this line into the top of your vite.config.js. You also need to add this import Vue from, okay, Vite.js plugin. So basically you are importing Vite.js plugin Vue, okay. And keep in mind, composer.js and JSON contains PHP dependencies, and our JavaScript dependencies are always defined in the package.jsn. So here you can see all the JS over dependencies. You can see our project has Vite JS plugin. It has Vite, and here is Vue, and the Vue version currently is 3.3.37. It's the most latest version. And I would also like to mention that I am developing this project in the most latest Laravel version. And if I will show you the version here, version, yeah, as you can see, 9.4.8.0, which is the most latest version of Laravel right now. Okay, so let's refresh it. Okay, uh, yeah, so we need to run npm run and dev again. Okay, there is no error. Let's refresh it. Okay, so if I will zoom out it, you can see our example component has been uploaded here. Okay, so keep in mind, whenever we will make change in a vue file, .vu file, or in a component, vue component, or in a blade view, our page will refresh automatically. This is because in the white.config.js we have mentioned refresh true. Okay, if you uh, don't want Laravel to detect your view component changes or view blade file changes automatically, then you can make it false. But nobody likes that. We want that once we make changes in the view components or in the blade files, our page should refresh automatically. Okay, so for example, if I make Sanjaran, let's type, I'm an example component. This is our first component. So I did not refresh the page. Okay, it automatically, the change has reflected. So now everything is configured. We have configured the database. Okay, we have created the table migration, and we have also made sure that our Vue.js is loading properly, our JS is working properly. Okay, let's start working now. Okay, first of all, go to tasks.blade.php. Okay, okay, we don't need to use. Okay, let's close other tabs. Okay, okay, let's check if our bootstrap is working or not. So guys, as you can see that Bootstrap is not loading. So we need more changes so that we can include the Bootstrap CSS and JS in our project. So what we can do is go to app.js and okay, let me go to my folder. Okay, so guys, go to your uh, app.js file. Okay, by default, if you have used the composer require Laravel / UI package for installing Bootstrap and Vue your app.js, this is the default JS. I have not made any changes, but now this is I am making the first change in app.js. Okay, so copy these two lines here. Okay, these two lines. Okay, import dots. So this is instructing importing the file that needs to be uh, compiled by Vue.js. Okay. Similarly, you can also, I think now the bootstrap should work. Let's try it again. Yes, no bootstrap. So just this line of code. So you just make sure you add this line into app.js so your bootstrap starts working. Okay, that we are good to go now. Okay, okay guys, the next step is to create a task component. Okay, so let's go to resources and then JS directory and then components directory. So we will not delete example component.vue file, which is an example component. Okay, let's create a new file here called task component .vue. Okay, and let's just copy the bootstrap form here. Control A, Control C. I don't need to explain you the bootstrap form. Just I will zoom it out so you can see it clearly. So this is just a bootstrap form through which we will send data to the server using Laravel and Vue JS. Okay, so div class proper record center, basically use a card. You can just copy any bootstrap template form. Okay, the card structure of bootstrap, this is card and then card body and then yeah. Okay, I know that I have not intentionally defined the card header and things like that. If you need that, you can include them. Okay, so this will be our first input. Okay, uh, task title. Okay, and task description. This will be our second input, and task type. We had created a enum data type for a type column in the tasks table. This select section is for storing the task type. Okay, it has select and then option values. Okay, and then the last input will be due date. That's all. And then there is a button for the create task, right? Okay. And another thing, we need to register this component into app.js. Okay. So just like, you can see that example component has been, how example component has been registered here in app.js. So now I'm making edits in the app.js to register the task component. So import, okay, task. No, it's not giving the option automatically. Task component, import task. Okay, let's type it. Component from, okay, that forward slash pun components forward slash something is here. We need to put it here. Components and task. See, component. Is it in the correct file? JS components, task component. Okay. Dot vue, right? Copy it and make it like task component. This is basically, we're defining the tag for task component. When we will need to load it, we will define this tag, and here we need to make it task component. Yeah, I think we are good to go. And then what we need to do, go to the tasks.blade.php, and we will remove it, and here we will now load our task component. Okay, as soon as I type PHP Storm, gives the option automatically. That's the beauty of PHP Storm. Okay, but sometimes it's not that smart and adds extra things. Okay, so now if I refresh, it has failed to remove because there is some error. Let's see what's the error. Okay, fail to import task component.vf from task component.vf. Yes, it exists. What the mistake we have done? Task component.vue. Let's check it. Okay guys, I think we have made some mistake in importing the component task. We need to fix it. Okay, so just remove it. Let's copy the syntax from here. Okay, this is the way to import any component task. Keep in mind, we are making this change in app.js. Okay, we will register all our new Vue components in app.js. Okay, so let's make it task, the component which we just made, and task. Okay, right? And I'm not mentioned anything here. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, so now it said at least one template or script is required in a single file component. Okay, we also need to mention the script tag here. I will just copy it. Okay, and I think we are also missing the template here. Maybe if we V cause, yeah, and let's refresh it. Yeah, now our task component is loading at least. Okay, now let's try to copy the bootstrap input form. Hmm, yeah, so we were missing the template tag. Okay, now let's also define the, so guys, this is no over form to create the task is loading properly and there are no errors in the console. As you can see that, I will just zoom it out so you can see it more clearly. Now I will try to quickly finish this because I think the video has already gone very long. Okay, so basically we have four inputs for task title, task description, task type, and the due date for task, and this is the task button. That's it. And the guys, so you can copy this form, any bootstrap form, from anywhere. The important things I will mention you now. Okay, okay guys, let's first copy the script tag here. To save the time, I will just copy some things which are not necessary to mention. Okay, uh, I don't think we need it. Just make it like this. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now another thing we will need is we need a two-way binding. Okay, the v model attribute, and say title. Okay, v model is for a two-way binding for the forms. Okay, see, and copy it here, and this is for okay, description. So DESC. Okay, v model is for two-way binding in forms. Okay, and here I think yeah, in the select tag we will also adding control V, so here it will be type, right? And then V model, and it's called due date. That's it. Now we need to return the data from here. Okay, okay guys, we will use the data attribute to define the initial JavaScript state of our input elements. As you already know that we have defined v model attribute for every input. Basically, this is a two-way binding. Okay, v model, uh, as soon as we make a change in the input, the JavaScript state of the input gets updated. So here, using the data attribute, we will define the initial state of the JavaScript, and this JavaScript state will keep updating when we will make any change to the input. So return first one is title, comma. Okay, second input is description, and type means task type, and due date, right? So initially the JavaScript state will also be empty because the inputs will be empty. And when we will enter something into the title or description, the values of these JavaScript states will also get automatically updated, right? Okay, now as you know that we have defined store task here. Let me show to you again. Store task, right? So basically this is a click event. As soon as you click on the create task button, store task function will be called. Okay, so let's define methods. We will define multiple methods, but right now uh, okay, store task alert. Let's check if everything is this dot task on this dot title. Okay, that's running fine. Okay, okay, so let's check. Yeah, as you can see that as soon as we have clicked on the click event, create task button, the click event has been called, and we have received a response. We have type alert this dot title. It means that as soon as we type the value of the this JavaScript state of that input gets updated. Okay, everything is fine. So guys, the thing is that you know we have four inputs, uh, and we will need to send this inputs to the server, and so in this case we will have to write title, description, type, do data to separately to send it to the server. So we there is a better idea. We can create an object so that we will only send that object to the server, and all these input will be accessible on the server side, right? So let's do it like this. Okay, and I think it should. What's going on? Okay, and maybe yeah, yeah, everything is fine now. Okay, so now, you know, after this change, to access the title, what we need to do is that first we did this alert, this dot title. Okay, but now first we need to make a change to the v model. Okay, we have to now type this task data dot title, right? We can't keep it like. Similarly, we have to make this task data dot dsc and task data dot type, right? And we, similarly task data dot due date, because all these attributes are now in this subject. Okay, and now if we need to check the value of this, we have to do this das task data, let's go dot type. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's refresh it. Okay, now select bug here, and now we will see the bug if we click on something is wrong here, undefined. Okay, let's see why it's undefined. V model is task data dot type. So guys, basically here is a space here, we have to remove it, and then we also make sure let's remove it and type it again, this dot type. Okay, and let's refresh it. Okay, now select task type, let's select bug, and then yeah, that's fine. Okay, it's working now. Okay guys, now here we need to send the post request basically. Okay, and what we can do is xcs dot post. Guys, first of all we will define the route here. Okay, for handling all our http requests. So just a single resource route. Okay, tasks and mm, task controller task, yeah, class. That's fine. Let me zoom out it. Okay, you can see that I've typed the full controller path so that we don't have to mention it on the top of the file, right? Okay, and now go to the task controller, and as all our as the data attributes of task table are mass assignable, so we can make a create request. You know, let me show you. So you must define this if you want that all the uh, columns of tasks table must be mass assignable. Then you can only use the mass assignable statement here. Okay, dollar request all, right? Then return response JSON. Okay, and 200. Now first we need to uh, return a response, or yeah, let's say uh, task created successfully, right? Let's pause 200. I hope that's fine, right? Now we'll need to make a access request here. We have already defined the HTTP route, so we are good to go. And okay, let's save the time and copy this. Okay, so we are just making a post request, HTTP post request struct. Just type axios.post and tasks. Okay, is our route. um, and then here we are just sending the data, right? So now you will understand why I had to define this object. Otherwise we will have to write title, comma, desc, type, data. So just we have to write this starts as data, and it will be these attributes will be accessible to server, because all of these data attributes are in this task data, right? Okay, and then if the response will be successful, if response dot status to equal, then right now we just we can say console dot log. Okay, successful. We will show a proper message, but right now we just write here. Otherwise if there is error, we can just write here console.log errors. Keep in mind we will also handle the mm, handle the errors. We will also perform a server side validation, right? Okay, and let's do one thing more here. Go to the task controller and define here a variable tasks task all, and return response JSON, and dollar tasks, make it tasks. There will be multiple, so, and 200, right? Okay, let's try to save the task, right? If task will be saved successfully, okay, then we will see in the console a success message. So let's write first task, task description, and let's make a due date. Okay. There is some error. Let's see what's the error. Go to the network and see integrity constraint violation. Okay, so it says that description cannot be null. So the problem is something is wrong with the description. Okay, description is not being passed to the, has not been set to the server. So what's wrong here? Okay, actually we have, no, we have title, description, type, due date. So where is the description? Here it is mentioned, then what's wrong? Task data.desc. Okay, okay, no, no, no. This is ID. Here we need to mention, yeah, that's why it's not working. Task data.dsc, right? So we have fixed this. Let's, okay. First task, task description, okay, 5, create task. Yeah, so here is the response. As you can see in the console, successful. And if we go to the network tab in the browser, we can also see the response here. Okay, let me try to zoom it out. Maybe no, but it will not zoom out the inspect element, right? So here it shows the response array is been returned, task created successfully. Okay, now the thing is we also have to uh, perform input validation checks on the server side. Okay, so let's perform a server side validation. So we have to write some code here. Okay guys, let's just copy the validation code from Laravel website to save the time. Okay, copy it here. So title is fine, unique, and here we need to change the table over table name is tasks, right? And second our input is type, just make it, and then we have description and minimum characters should be, I think, 20. So what's the other, due date? Yeah, due date required, and it should be a valid date. Okay, okay, that's fine. So now we have written a validation code on the server side, in the controller, in the task controller, and on the front end we will see the errors in the console if there are errors. Okay, let's check it, refresh it. And let's go to the console tab and press create task. Yeah, so we can see the errors here in the console. Okay, if you go to the network tab, the error will be more clear. So server is, so an array is being returned by the server. Okay, so let's try how can we uh, errors dot uh, data dot title, see if it works or not. Right, the title field is required and three more errors. Okay guys, the error is here. There is a spelling mistake. uh, so here the spellings are different, and here these are different, so be careful about the spelling. Let's correct them. I did not want these spellings errors, so copy this, control C, and it's already here. And then here we show, and then here the, then fix them here also. Right, yeah. Okay, got input. There is another error now. Title, yeah, we also need to make change here. Yeah, then we also need to fix this task error messages, because we have changed the messages of the objects above, but we have not fixed in the errors. Task errors, task error messages, task errors, task error messages, task errors. Be careful about the spellings, guys. It wastes a lot of time. Right, guys. Okay. So now, guys, we can see the errors everywhere. Right? I wonder. Yeah, it shows that the due date field is required. Okay, then why I can't see it here? Okay, so we are have written the validation as for discretion twice, but we missed the due date here. So make it last one, due date, and due date here, due date, right? Now if refresh it, still the server is turning error for the due date, but we can't see it's still it. That's quite strange. So something is wrong here, maybe. Let's copy the above one, place it here, and see what's wrong here. Dot due date, right? Oh yeah, here we are wrong. We're showing type here, due date. I hope this should fix it. Yeah, but why not? So guys, the due date error is not being displayed because we have missed it here. So make it due date also. That's it. Now refresh it. Yeah, and we can see the error here. Okay. Okay. Task, yes, task. Right. So if the task is successful, then let's make it alert for the timing. Successful. Task, task description. The title has already been taken, so two titles cannot be same. We had made a validation. Yeah, task successful. It means task has been saved. So we are done with the task saving. So the next step is we also need to show the tasks. Once the tasks are saved, we need to retrieve the tasks. So guys, to retrieve the tasks, we will define another method here called get tasks, right? And then let's, okay, no, let's remove it. Okay, so we are making HTTP GET request, same URL, just GET request, and we have already defined the code on the task controller for retrieving the tasks, and that's it. And now we also need to include the UI for displaying the tasks. Um, okay, guys, before displaying the records, let's do one thing. Um, we're showing the validation errors. Okay, but the thing is, when we save the record, we should also show a proper message instead of the alert, which right now we have. So let's do uh, one thing more here. Okay, so define here. Okay, in the return as success message, by default it will be empty. Okay, and so once the server sends the success response when the task is saved, here we can write this dot success message is equal to task has been created successfully, right? And then we also need to show the success message. Let's go here and let's try something here. Alert, alert, success. Okay, and double curly braces, and this dot success message. I think now our system will display the success message. Let's try. New task 2023, and task description, task type, let's make it epic, and select the date. Let's make the due date this, and create task. Yeah, now we can see the success message. That sounds good. Okay, okay, guys, the next step is uh, to show the all the records. Okay, as you know that we have already defined the get tasks function in the task component.vue file, and we also have defined in the controller index function, so the server can return the requested tasks. And for showing the tasks, we need to define some UI. To save the time, I will just copy a bootstrap table template. Okay, you can use any bootstrap table template. Let's put it what is, yeah, maybe class clear fix, I think. And okay, what's wrong here? But okay, guys, so I've just pasted the bootstrap table template. You can see div class table responsive, and this is a simple table. And here heading columns, title, type, description, due date, and actions. Under the actions column, we will put the edit button and delete button. And here are the columns. Here we will need to show the values, dynamic values returned by the server. Okay, so we will need to use the v for directive task in tasks. This is similar to PHP for each loop. Okay, and then curly braces, task dot title, right? Task dot uh, description, I think so. Let's see what's the name in the table. Create school tasks table. It's DESE, so let's keep it same. Okay, task dot type, task type. Okay, task dot due date. Okay, users. Okay, next thing is um, when the task when the response is returned successfully, so we will also want to show the new record saved, so we will call the this dot get tasks method. Okay, let's see if there is something wrong or not. Okay, let's check. Once we save, all tasks should display here. Task has been created successfully, but there are some errors, and we need to fix them so we can display the task. Okay guys, the thing is that we forget to describe uh, the initial JavaScript state of the tasks. Okay, we are using tasks here, but we need to define the initial state of the tasks. So let's define it here. Tasks, an empty array. Okay, and now if we save a new task, let's type anything. Okay, okay, let's create a new task. We will see a success message and all the records will also be displayed. Oh, great. That's fantastic. Okay. But another thing is that users, our task has been created successfully, but after the task has been saved, we need to empty these values. So we will do this now. No problem. Just go here and do it like this. This dot task data dot title and like this. Let's, yeah, and then change it type. Okay, disk and due date. Now once the task server returns the success response, the first thing will be retrieve the tasks, and then it will empty the, you know uh, let's keep it on that here. Let's do it like this. Put the task get task on that. Okay. So let's test it again. Refresh it. New task creating. Okay. New task description. Task type bug. And then 31. Okay. Now once we press create task, we will see all the tasks including the one which we are creating right now. Okay guys, task has been created successfully and the input fields have returned to empty after the success response, right? And oh yeah, and on the last line you can see the task which we just created. That's fantastic. So we have right now completed two functions, right? Creating a task, uh, server side input validation errors, and the third is we have also retrieved the records. Okay. The next thing is when we refresh the page, by default the task should also load here. For this we need to define the dot mounted property of the Vue. Okay, let's do that. So guys, here the methods bracket is closing, so let's define here the mounted property. So once the page load for the first time, we can call this dot get tasks. This function will fetch the task from the server. Okay, that's it. Now when we will load the page for the first time, yeah, here it is. Let's refresh it and let me show you again, right? Here is it. That's fine. And the next step is to provide the edit and delete functionality. First we will do edit and then we will perform the delete functionality.